So today we are talking about a topic that we covered about a year or two ago, and it's about a TikToker called Digital Princxss. Here's a TikTok account on screen. She's got 2.2 million followers, so clearly a very big TikToker. And even though, like I said, we did cover this a year or two ago, we kind of only really scratched the surface because it was when I was doing them instant regret videos where there'd be like multiple topics in one video. I probably spoke about it for like 2 minutes. But since that video, a lot more information has came out, and more specifically, the bodycam footage from the police has actually been released. Here's the video here. It's called TikTok Star Ends Her Career in One Night. It's got 2.1 million views in a month. And the interesting thing about this bodycam footage is it paints a very different picture to what Marissa or Digital Princxss said happened at the time. Now, in case you're very confused and you have no idea what I'm talking about right now, let me just explain what happened. So Marissa is a TikToker who kind of posts your standard TikTok type videos, like doing the dances, the lip sync and all that shite. Well, she also has a son who was 4 years old at the time, and the police were actually called a couple of years ago because there was a child walking about on the street without a parent, without any adults, just walking around at night by themselves. Now, Marissa had only just moved to this location a couple of weeks before this incident. She had just bought this new house, and when people were trying to locate, like, whose child is this, they didn't really know. They had an idea that it could have been like the new person who's just moved in, but there was no one home at that address and the car was gone. Marissa wasn't to be seen. Now, obviously for the last couple of years, we didn't have any police footage. We only had the police report in writing, and this is what it said happened at the time. So the police report says that they went into the home and they managed to find some contact numbers, and they ended up calling Marissa. Marissa said she was only about 6 minutes away and she was going to hurry back home, and she only went out because she needed to get laundry detergent because she had ran out. But when she arrived back at the house, she was wearing a black mini dress and a face full of makeup, to which the police officers say doesn't really look like something you'd wear to go to the shops and get some laundry detergent. It looked like she was out for the night. And then as the police report continues, Marissa says that she was only out the house for about half an hour because she nipped to the shop, she put her kid to sleep, went out, and came straight back. They say that they were getting a bit suspicious about this story, didn't really make much sense. Face full of makeup, like short dress, went out, looks like she's going out for the night, doesn't really look like something that she'd wear to go to the shops. Also, this bottle of laundry detergent is half empty that she apparently just bought. They also checked the stores locally to see if they would sell this size bottle, and they didn't. She also has no receipt of this product. And then the police ended up asking Marissa if she would show up on the CCTV footage at the store that she said she went to which she then probably realised, okay, I'm kind of caught out here, I've been lying. And then the next paragraph shows that Marissa decided to now tell the truth, and that she actually travelled 11 miles, about 17 minutes, to her friend's place, and they were just going to hang out, I guess, and she basically lied about the whole laundry detergent. That was just a bottle that was in her car that she's had there for ages. She also admits that she had no cameras in the house and had no way to check up on if her son was okay being left alone at this point. Bear in mind, he's about 4 or 5 years old. And then she also said that the reason that she lied is because she didn't want to get in trouble, which doesn't really make much sense because lying's definitely going to get you in more trouble with the police. And it also goes on to say that even though her child hasn't been diagnosed with autism, he exhibits behaviours and patterns consistent with being on the spectrum. So with this being said, she has left her 4 or 5 year old child, who she has said herself has behaviours and patterns consistent with being on the spectrum, alone in the house by himself with no way of looking out for him, and he's managed to get out. Like, come on, like, I feel like this is ridiculously stupid. So yeah, this is the basic story that we were told at the time, and obviously Marissa's viewers were fuming at her, as they should be. This is child neglect, leaving a 4-year-old son, like, left at home by himself, whilst you've just went out to go and see one of your friends. Turns out he's managed to leave the house, he's wandering the street by himself. God knows what could have happened. Cars passing by, strangers, like, anything horrible could have happened, and she had no way to even check. Now, when this information came out, Marissa actually went to TikTok to basically say that the police are lying.
Hi guys, I just wanted to come on here and say that I do see your comments, I do see your concerns. I'm not at all trying to avoid or hide the situation. For those of you who know how legal stuff works, legally I'm only allowed to say so much regarding it. And I know there's a lot of things being posted online that are very out of context and very much untrue, so please do not believe everything that you will read on the internet. I can't really say much more. I just want to say thank you so much for all of those who have supported me.
Yeah, so that statement was, something, to say the least. She says that the police took her out of context, which doesn't really make much sense, because I'm trying to think, what type of context would it be okay to leave your child alone for that period of time? He's 4 years old, and not be able to, like, check up on him, make sure that he's okay. Especially since the reason she actually left the house was to hang out with one of her mates. Now, after this statement, Marissa continued to try and spread the narrative that this was just a complete lie, it's taken out of context, she's innocent, all this stuff. Now, I'm not going to go through every single statement that she made, but many YouTubers have made very detailed videos talking about this situation. Repsion is one, Tamimi is one, Repzilla's another one. There's a bunch of YouTubers that have made very detailed videos going into, like, every single video she posted. So if you do want to see more details, there's some YouTubers to check out. But yeah, Marissa actually spent the night in jail, but eventually the case was actually dismissed, which doesn't mean that she's innocent, because she's actually admitted to child neglect, basically, by saying what actually happened, like talking about the events that took place. The reasons why this case was dismissed could be for many, many reasons, but one thing that you can't really have a debate over is the fact that she did leave her child for too long. She went away, 11 miles away from the home. He managed to get out, and he was roaming around the street by himself at 4 years old. That is child neglect, right? But either way, the case was dismissed, and you gotta bear in mind, we still don't have police footage at this point. All we know is what is said in the police report and what Marissa has said has happened. But since the case got dismissed, a lot of people thought, oh, maybe she was innocent all along, and Marissa decided to run with this, and basically started, like, bragging about the fact it was dismissed and that she was innocent all along. My case has been dismissed. Thank you to everybody who dragged my name. I have not made... bloody hell, how quick do you think I can read? I have not made any other alternate accounts. I'll be releasing my full statement on October 22nd. Now, this full statement thing is actually very interesting. We will get to that. But anyways, the video carries on. It's got a 6ix9ine song in the background, so it's very copyrighted. Outside of 7-Eleven, which is where she said that she went in the lies in the police report, she's wearing the mini dress as well that the police said she was wearing, and she's just mocking the fact that this happened in the first place, which is not a good look. Now, like we just saw in that video, Marissa says that she's going to be releasing her statement on a specific date, and it turns out she actually put the statement behind a paywall on her OnlyFans. Here's a tweet here saying, in less than 24 hours, I'll be releasing my statement on the 10th or the 22nd. Oh, stupid American dates again. I'll be releasing it on OnlyFans, which means you must subscribe to watch. A very bizarre tactic. You know, using a statement on your allegations that you neglected your child as a way to promote your OnlyFans. Don't really understand that. And on top of that, she kept posting a bunch of videos kind of mocking the situation. And I'm actually going to show a clip from Tamimi's video showing the amount of times that she mocked this. But like I said, this from Tamimi's video. I'll leave her link in the description. It's a very detailed video going into way more detail than I possibly could. So yeah, that's definitely a video you should check out.
What do you think, Wackus Bonkers? Kill him. Who? You naughty Wackus Bonkers.
So she's talking about the people who are hating on her, and her response is, keep posting and make them mad. Interesting take.
How people think I am after reading my comments. Me.
Oh yeah,
She's
nice.
made a series of TikToks. She's made a series of tweets.
Yeah, so as you can see, she's mocked it throughout the years. And like I said, this is before the police footage came out, so people just believed her. They thought that she was kind of falsely accused, if you want to say that. But now the police footage has came out. It's not a good look.
A little boy has been found wandering the residential area completely alone. Also mind-blowing, however, is the revelation that the individual behind the whole disaster is a widely known TikTok star.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually not that shocking, you know, because these TikTok stars have done a lot of bad stuff throughout the years. So yeah, the video carries on with a man who was now taking care of the child, who was just left alone because a woman actually originally saw the child walk around the street. This was at the height of COVID, so she didn't want to go up to the child during COVID in case she got ill. So she actually knocked on a neighbor's door to see if he'd help out instead, and this is him.
She was trying to find someone to help her, so that's why I came out. She went on her walk.
Yeah, so one thing to note with this, like, neighborhood, apparently it is very close to a very busy road. That's what it was said in the police report anyways, which obviously just makes the situation even more terrifying because the child was left alone for over an hour at least. He could have walked anywhere. Luckily he didn't. He did cross the road, which is dangerous in itself, but luckily he didn't go further because he could have. Now at this point, the realtor who actually sold the property to Marissa has now appeared and explains to the police whose, like, kid this is.
Do you happen to know the owners of that?
Marissa Cluche. She's a single mom.
The video continues with the realtor and the police officer talking about how dangerous this could possibly be.
That ain't cool.
He's a kid. He's gonna do things like that. Unfortunately, especially like around here, like people should be driving cautiously, but you've seen it.
Then we hear the police trying to work out how long this child was actually left alone.
Was she apologetic?
Yeah, she was apologetic, but
Giving excuses?
at this point, it's not just like a few minutes, like 10 minutes, like that was. She didn't show up a little after 11, and who knows how long he was there by himself before that. It's a significant period of time, especially for a small child like that.
Yeah, and as we now know, it was over an hour. They believe it was about an hour and a half, which is ridiculous. Now, at this point, Marissa's mum actually shows up, and when she's told this information, she's completely shocked. She's in complete disbelief.
Apparently, mom had stepped away to go and get with friends or meet with friends and left him unattended.
What?
Yes. So this is where we're at. And
he was walking around by himself?
Yes, ma'am.
But yeah, imagine
We
hearing
just
this by your
moved
grandson,
here.
man.
Literally, the beginning of August. Just bought the house.
Yeah, and this is kind of like a common theme throughout the video. Marissa's mom just can't believe that Marissa would even do this. In fact, she even goes on to ask the question, where is her nanny? Apparently Marissa has a full-time nanny, and she wasn't there. So Marissa could have had someone else look after her child, as she should have if she was going to leave the house, and she didn't.
I'm shocked that she did that. I can't believe it. Where's her nanny? I don't know where the nanny is.
Does she usually have a nanny?
She has a nanny. Yeah, a full-time nanny. And I can't believe she made that decision. That's so not her.
Now at this point we actually see Marissa and the police explain to her that she is going to be going to jail.
You want to say goodnight to your son before you go to jail? Yes, ma'am. Okay, come on.
And this is where we actually hear more about Marissa's original statement, the one that she lied about the laundry detergent.
She'd simply run out of laundry detergent. After putting her child to bed, she allegedly made a quick jaunt to a nearby 7-Eleven to replenish her soap supply. However, her failure to produce a receipt for the purchase, combined with a detergent container in the home that was only half full, contributed to the implausibility of her story. In addition, it was her appearance that really didn't support her account. When she arrived home to a swarm of police and concerned bystanders, she was allegedly wearing a black mini dress and appeared to be dressed more for going out.
Yeah, I don't really understand how she thought that was ever going to be believed, because, I mean, it's the police. They'll figure it out eventually, right? But, yeah, a bit bizarre. I guess she just panicked and didn't know what to say. Now, at this point, Marissa's in the back of a police car. The police actually explained to her that the CPS alternative in their area has been called to be notified about this.
And also so that you're aware, the Department of Children and Families is also notified of the event.
Yes, correct.
I guess, yeah, that would be our version of Child Protective. Is that stand for Child Protective Services?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so DCF, it's DCF in the state of Florida, Department of Children and Families.
Now, this is somewhat interesting because in Marissa's newest statement that we will get to, she says that CPS weren't called, or she says that they weren't called multiple times, but we have at least one example of a time that it was called. So who's to say it wasn't called again? No one really knows, but this is just worth noting because she does mention it. And then we get a conclusion on the charges and why this may have been dropped.
At the time of her arrest, she was initially charged with child neglect. However, roughly 6 weeks after the incident, on October 4th of 2021, Lee County dropped the charges against her. It's impossible to say why the charges were dropped without additional documentation. The alleged crime of child neglect seems to have had its elements met. However, there may have been post-arrest negotiations with the DA that led them to drop the charges.
So there you have it. When this video was released, people now knew what actually happened. The police report pretty much summed it up correctly, and the fact that the charges were dropped doesn't mean it didn't happen. So now at this point, people are obviously commenting on Marissa's stuff, saying, why did you lie about the situation? It's not how you explained it. And she ended up releasing a pretty lengthy statement. A video was recently released from something my family and I were involved in a couple years ago. I wanted to address some questions/comments some people have had since the video came out. I made a bad choice that cost me a lot, but not nearly as much it could have. Watching that footage was like looking into a window at a different person. It's something that will be a part of me forever, and I have accepted that. I had the mindset for months after I was arrested that my job was to prove to the world that I had changed, until there was a moment in therapy where I realised it was my goal to change for my son. Now, I've seen a few people say at this point in the statement that it's interesting how she says that she wanted the world to see that she changed after this situation happened, because actually for like many months she was just kind of mocking the situation. Now, I can't really give too much of an opinion on that because I haven't seen every single video Marissa posted within that time frame, of course, but yeah, there are a few videos for mocking the situation, so make of that what you will. Since then, you don't hear me talk about it much because it's not my job to prove to anybody but my son that he's my priority. You were out drinking and partying, making content. It doesn't matter where I was because I should have been home. But to address this, it's no secret what my line of work is, but to affiliate SW with a party lifestyle just because I had a moment of terrible judgment brings other people in the industry down with me. I was sober and not creating content. Yeah, I don't really understand this paragraph because the fact that people thought she was at a party isn't because she does like SW work. It's because in the police statement and in the footage we just saw, she was wearing a dress, makeup, like they just kind of assumed that she was out like partying and she wasn't just going to a 7-Eleven to buy laundry detergent. You had no remorse. I was so sad and angry at myself, I just deflected that into my content for months. It's hard to watch knowing what I know now, but it's out there and I can't do anything about it. CPS has been called so many times you should lose your son. No, it hasn't for one. This is a shitty rumour and also public information. We have never had an issue outside of this. So yeah, I guess in the statement she says CPS has been called so many times, which could definitely not be true. It might have just happened once, I guess. I hate when people say I shouldn't have Onyx in my life. My whole world revolves around him. It's just been me and him since his father relinquished rights, and I work my ass off to provide the best education and future that I can. He has everything he wants. He's so polite and well-mannered. I know I fucked up, but I've raised a smart, talented boy, and I'm proud of that. I owe that to him, nobody else. Yeah, I would never personally say to someone that they should lose a son. I wouldn't fucking do that in a million years. But what I can say is that situation is very terrifying what happened, and a very shitty situation, as she says throughout this. You deserve to be deplatformed. At the end of the day, social media is my job that supports me and my son. It's your choice whether or not you choose to platform me and support me, and I love and appreciate each and every one of you that does. I appreciate the opportunity to continue to make entertaining, cringy content for you. So yeah, that's her statement, and it went down very, very well. I mean, if we look at the comment section right now, we've got people saying this is actually a really mature statement, and I feel it shows a lot of growth. Okay, all of this, are people not allowed to grow and change, or do we want them to be in those dark moments? Glad you're here. People make mistakes, and those who can be redeemed acknowledge that they're the problem. Kudos to you and your family doing that and taking accountability. Which is all stuff that is true, right? People can obviously change and become better. Of course, that's how life works. People do make mistakes. I guess the problem that a lot of people seem to have is that she went on for so long after this, kind of mocking this situation. And even now, she's just uploaded a video after this statement, reacting to comments that people have left to her about the situation and kind of making jokes about it.
People still support this waste of oxygen. But hey, saw your body cam on YouTube, made me remember how much of a piece of shit you are. I love positive feedback. I love when humans can encourage other humans to do worse. Or whatever Dr. Phil said.
Yeah, so this is kind of the theme of this video. She's just reading comments from people who are angry, and then she kind of just like makes some jokes about it, some like little remarks and stuff. And yeah, some of these comments are horrible. I wouldn't ever say that these comments are okay to say, but people do seem to have a problem with the way she's responded to these and making jokes.
Go be a better mom than a shit influencer. I'm sorry, but all I see is... Influencer? Me?
Didn't like that. Did not like that.
I just seen the video on YouTube just when you think you couldn't be more of a pile of doo-doo. Poo-poo pee-pee.
Yeah, I'll just go out on a limb and say, not really my style of content, to be honest.
As soon as I saw all the tats, I was not shocked. Not that all people with tats are bad, but all bad people have tats. Yeah, as soon as you get a tattoo, you automatically get a felony.
Yeah, look, some of them comments are stupid, especially that last one, right? But this is where I've seen a lot of people have some problems, especially over on like Reddit and on YouTube videos and stuff and other TikToks. People don't seem to like the fact they're just making jokes about something that is very serious, so the situation could have been way worse than it actually was. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at present day. I would love to know your opinions on everything we spoke about in today's video. I feel like the comment section might be a bit mixed, so hopefully we can keep it a nice friendly discussion, you know? But yeah, what I'll say is that original situation, what we saw in that body cam footage, what we've seen in the police report, is disgusting. It's a very, very young child at the end of the day. Someone that she has said herself has characteristics and behaviours that would suggest that he might be on the spectrum. I don't know if he has been diagnosed with autism now at this point, because it was a couple of years ago. But either way, that's how she felt at the time, and she left him alone in the house and went out to go and speak to one of her friends or like hang out. And it's like, yeah, I get people make mistakes, but when it involves a child, it's a bit fucking different. Like, you can't really afford to make these mistakes. This situation could have been way, way worse. But like I said, I would love to know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And yeah, if you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff. And until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, goodbye.